Hi guys, the Middle Maniac back again, and in this video I'm going to be listing off my top 10 favorite title tracks. This was a really hard one to do since there's so many title tracks that I absolutely love, so it's really hard to narrow it down to just 10. But I managed to do so. Alright, so with that, let's begin. At number 10 is the title track to the album Forbidden by Black Sabbath. Definitely one of the best, if not the best, Black Sabbath title tracks I've heard. Yeah, there's been a few that are pretty good, but I don't know, this one just feels the most, no, I just get the most enjoyment out of listening to this one than most others, that Black Sabbath have. And it might have to do with Tony Martin's vocals. Yeah, just a really, really good title track. It's not really epic sounding, but it is definitely a bigger sounding song than the rest on the album. Than the rest of the songs on the album, so it kind of feels like it's supposed to be the epic of the album. But yeah, just a really, really great song with a very catchy chorus to it. But yeah, the title track to the album Forbidden by Black Sabbath is at number 10. Alright, number 9. Number 9 is title track to Holy Diver by Dio. I was really debating whether to put the title track to Master of the Moon on here or this one, but, I had to go with Holy Diver because it's just, I don't think it's a better song, but it is definitely a more memorable song. Especially with that guitar solo. That very stripped back, sort of non-technical, but still very catchy guitar solo. But yeah, just a really, really great title track, and that riff too, the dun 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 dun. Just a really, really great title track. But yeah, that's at number 9. All right. Number 8. Alright, number 8 is the title track M16 by Sodom. This one really puts you in like the really gets your imagination going. Like you can really envision the soldier in the song from his point of view. You could really imagine like him just like surrounded by enemies in a battlefield, firing off his M16. But yeah, just a really great song. It has a really great atmosphere to it as well. It has a very much an urgency to it. And then of course the guitar riff is amazing, just like with majority of songs on this album. The guitar work, especially the riffs, like yeah, the solos as well, but the riffs are like probably the standout feature of this album. But yeah, and the heaviness too. Like this album's super, super heavy. But yeah, the title track to the album M16 by Sodom is at number 8. Alright. At number 7 is the title track to the album Show No Mercy by Slayer. Now, there was another title track that I was debating on whether putting it on here or this one. The other one was South of Heaven, which is an amazing title track as well. But I really had to go with the classic Show No Mercy because, I mean, it's just one of Slayer's best songs from the early days. And it's definitely a Slayer anthem. But yeah, it's just really, really awesome. Very fast-paced, very energetic, and just super sinister. And Tamaraya's vocals on this song are amazing. Like a lot of the early stuff, he's definitely like at his best. But yeah. Number 6. Hold on. All right. At number 6 is the title track "From Beyond," from the album "From Beyond" by Massacre. Um, this is a very, I wouldn't say epic. Like, yeah, I guess you can call it an epic sounding song. It definitely is one that really sets the mood. Even though it's like kind of almost halfway through the album before you get to it, it just it's just a really really good song, and I love that. It's actually based on the H.P. Lovecraft story From Beyond, which also got adapted into a film, which I really want to get at some point. From the few clips I have seen, it looks really really good. But yeah, it's just a really great song. Very I don't know, epic for, I guess, for Massacre anyway. An epic song for Massacre. Like, they don't really do too many, like, epic sounding songs. I think the other closest one that I could think of, that's one that's on this album is maybe, Dawn of Eternity, the, opening track. Um, or even Defeat Remains in the beginning opening, um, yeah, just a really, really great title track. Um, Absolutely love it. All right. Where am I? Number 5. All right. Well, where did I put it? Oh, it's back here. Anyway, at number 5 is the title track "Don't Meddle with Evil" by the band Halloween. Now, this one is not an epic sounding song. It's not, the most. It's not really the most well. I mean, it's well known, but it's not the most. It's not the most popular of their songs. I would say the most popular their songs would probably either, I don't know, Rage, The Candles, or maybe even, What a Nice Place. But it's definitely, like, it fits as the title track, because it's so good. Like, it has sort of a very sinister sounding sinister sounding sound to the song, while also still keeping that fun, cheesy feel that the rest of the album has. But yeah, and I love how, like, in like the midsection when um what is his name again? I completely just had a mind blank. Um, Brian Thomas. There we go. When Brian Thomas says, in the song, "Can you hear the bell?" Like, the song kind of like stops, and then you hear like this faint, like, not this, like, faraway bell chime. That's a really cool part of the song. Like, I don't know what it is. It's just really, really cool. And I mean, the song as a whole is amazing, but that's one part always is just like, every time I listen to it, yeah, that's awesome. Um, but yeah, I just really, really love this title track. Um, I'm gonna put it over here. I had it over here for a reason. I don't know. Might as well put it back over there. But yeah, that's at number 5. At number 4, let's see. Wait, that's it. All right, at number 4 is the title track to the album "Abigail" by King Diamond. And honestly, it's probably I'd say it's either my second or third favorite song on the album, but it is definitely an amazing title track. It has a really great groove to it. King Diamond's vocals are sinister as always. Like, those really sinister, high pitched vocals is just something that I don't think anyone could ever replicate. Like, King Diamond, his vocals are just so unique to the point where you can't, or even if someone could kind of replicate it, they probably couldn't. Oh, hold on, something in my food or something. Just dry skin. Anyway, um, but yeah, it's just his vocals are so good, especially on this title track where, um, I don't know. There's something special about like this song. Like, yes, something about special about the entirety of the album, but this song in particular just has a great, memorable groove to it, paired with King Diamond's vocals on this particular song. Um, and then the story going on throughout the album, leading up to this particular song, where the ghost of Abigail has possessed Jonathan's wife and is now like in control. But yeah, just a really really cool, amazing title track. I absolutely love it. All right. At number three, number three is the title track to the album "See You in Hell" by Grim Reaper. This is amazing. Like, yeah, it's just from like this album. Not only just starts off with a song, it starts right away. There's no quiet few seconds before the song. The immediately when you hit the play button, just goes into the riff. Immediately, it just goes into the riff. There's no like few seconds silence before it. There's no lead up. Just immediately into that riff. Just a really, really great title track. That's one of the very few popular metal title tracks, or one of the popular metal like songs in general that hasn't really had a lot of covers done of it. Like, yeah, like there's a lot of like popular metal songs that like other bands did cover versions of. Whereas this one I've only seen like what, two, and only one of them is any good. But yeah, it's just a really, really great song. I love, like, everything's perfect. The riff, the guitar riff, the drums, the bass, the vocals by Steve Grimmett are amazing. Actually, this is the first song I ever heard by the band. I can't remember where I first heard it. It was definitely not when I first listened to the album as a whole. I believe, where did I hear it? Actually, if I remember correctly, I think the first time I ever heard this song was I believe. Hold on, give me a second. Oh yeah. Okay, so it was okay. So the first time I ever heard this song was watching the YouTube channel the Rageaholic and Razor Fist did a metal mythos on the band Grim Reaper, like he did with Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, and a lot of other bands. But yeah, the metal mythos episode he did on the entirety of Grim Reaper's career. That's probably the first time I heard the song "See You in Hell." It may or may not be. I can't really remember. I know it wasn't that long ago, but at the same time, it's kind of hard to keep track when I've heard this song so many times in so many different places, on the album, as like on YouTube, or on like on something that someone mentioned. So it's kind of hard to keep track where I first heard it. But it's just a really, really great song, and the guitar solo in it is also really good. But yeah, just a perfect song, and one of my all-time favorite title tracks. But yeah, "See You in Hell" by Grim Reaper is at number 3. Next up is the title track to the album "Jugulator" by Judas Priest. Now, it was a really hard pick between the title track of "Painkiller" and the title track of "Jugulator," but it was really hard. But in the end, I had to go with "Jugulator" just because it just, I don't know. Even though "Painkiller" is again up there in my favorite Judas Priest songs, and one of my favorite metal songs overall, I mean, "Jugulator" just has that extra edge to it. Like, it has that, "Painkiller" has that edge of being a little bit more, I guess, heavier, a little bit more, not heavier, but a little bit more extreme than majority of Judas Priest's songs in their discography at the time. But I mean, this one the title track to "Jugular" has the edge of being one of, if not the heaviest and most extreme songs Judas Priest has ever done, if not the entirety of this album, of like majority of these songs. But it just, like, the lead up is definitely, like, the opening and lead up to the actual main song, I think, is a little bit better than Painkiller, because in Painkiller, it has the drum intro, which is cool, by the way, is awesome. I love that intro. But and then the guitar kicks in, and then the rest of the song goes and kicks into play. Whereas this one takes its time and builds up the tension to the absolute epicness of the song. Like, first off is this, like, it's just the faint guitar riff in the background, the very faint, I don't know if it's the bass or whatever, but it is a guitar riff, but it's very faint in the background. As well, these really distorted, almost a train coming to station type sound, and then it just builds up, and that fades in the background. That weird sound fades in the background, and like the riff gets more and more pronounced. It gets more. You're able to hear it more and more, and it builds up and builds up, and then it goes into this really crushing, heavy riff. That leads up and builds up into a more energetic riff, and then Ripper Owens' vocals come in of the first thing he says in the song. Let's see what you're made of. He's coming, you can't run, and then the song kicks in after that. After he screeches at the top of his lungs, it's just, I don't know. I think, that is the reason why the title track to Jugulator has the edge over Painkiller, is because of that build up, that lead to the main part of the song. It's just so much more. It's so much more. I guess, like, payoff. Not to say that the lead up to the actual song in Painkiller doesn't pay off, but it just feels like this one just feels a lot more natural, whereas the other one feels a lot more like all over the place, which isn't really a bad thing for that song. It just I love how it feels a little bit more natural. The lead up to the actual main part of the song feels a little bit more natural on here. But yeah, I just love this title track. It's amazing. But yeah, it's at number 2. And at number 1, is the title track to Killers by Iron Maiden. Yeah, in my other video, I did a while ago, okay, so I did a video a while ago about my top 10 favorite album openers, and, the Iron Maiden pick was, Aces High from Powerslave. But even though it's my favorite album opener, and yes, it's an album opener while also being a title track, I love it as an album opener more than a title track. Whereas this one, yeah, it's not an album opener, but it is a title track, and I think this is definitely the better title track. And in my opinion, the best title track Iron Maiden has ever done. Maybe competing with the title track of the Book of Souls, because that's another amazing title track. But, I have to go with Killers, because it's just an absolute classic. Yeah, the Book of Souls title track is also really good, but it's not really a classic, because it's still pretty new. Maybe down the line, a few years from now, it'll be considered a classic, but I know it's just too new at the moment. Hold on, there's still, Hold on, let me scoot this over. Nope, that's even worse. I'm so stupid. Don't mind me trying to figure out how to, not have stupid light from my windows shining on me. I could close it, but that would take too much time. There we go. Okay. But yeah, just a really, really awesome title track. Paul Di'Anno, I'd say this is probably one of his best vocal performances, if not his best, his best on this particular album. Considering he also does amazing on everything, but I think it's this song, and then probably either Purgatory or Twilight Zone. Yeah, just a really great song, and the Twin Axe guitar solo of Dave Murray and Adrian Smith on the song is, of course, my favorite Iron Maiden guitar solo. It's just so good. And then Adrian Smith's guitar, kind of weird, sort of awesome guitar riff that he does in the song is just so catchy. But yeah. Um, Alright, so that's going to be it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you all next time.